commandments or laws or rules are different when they come from a father. How many of you have rebellious kids? Okay, keep your hands up. How many of you have kids? Okay, you have rebellious kids too. Okay. How many babysat kids? That's why you don't have any kids, okay? I love my kids. You love your kids. We love our kids. True or false, kids sometimes rebel and do foolish things. They do. And so what a good father should do is call what we title a family meeting. Okay? You always know that something's gone wrong when dad says, family meeting, everybody on the couch. It's like, oh, somebody did something. We're going to talk about this, right? And some of you have those family meetings. You're like, okay, sweetheart, you need to find clothes and wear them to elementary school. And you need to, son, stop smoking and finish third grade. Like, we got some things to work on here at the family meeting, right? When God gathers his children at the base of Mount Sinai and comes down to talk to them and give them his laws, it is not him saying, do these things and I will adopt you. It's him saying, I've adopted you and I need you to do these things because I love you and they're good for you and they're good for others. And part of the struggle with law is this. If law is disconnected from lawgiver, we could misunderstand the heart of the law. This is why the Pharisees, many years later, they loved the law but not the Lord. Because for them, they focused on the law more than the lawgiver. So for parents in general, but fathers in particular, we don't just drop law on our kids. Sit down with them, look them in the eye, kiss them on the forehead, tell them we love them, pray over them, tell them that we can't love them any less or more because we're wholeheartedly devoted to them no matter what. And then tell them that we want their life to flourish and we want them to be blessed. And so we're going to talk about some things and lay down some rules because we want them to not suffer and we want others not to suffer. That's the father heart of God. And if you separate the law from the father heart of the lawgiver, you end up questioning, is God good? Does God love me? Does God care? Is God interested? Or is God just, a faraway dictator who sends laws and if I obey them, I get to be a citizen and if I disobey them, I get to burn forever? I'll give you an example, an illustration that perhaps will help. So I've got 5 kids. I love them with all my heart. We moved into a house some years ago, and I'm in the house studying. I got the window cracked for fresh air, and I hear the weirdest sound. It was like this clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm like, what? I go outside, and I hear the noise up the street. Now, one of my sons, he had one of those little Jeeps, one of those plug-in, power-em-up kid Jeeps with a hard tires on it. And he's far away from our house, leaving. Okay? And the clunk, clunk, clunk is him driving on the gravel. And he's about 4. So I run after him, stand for, oh, hey buddy, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to get donuts. Okay? I said, hey buddy, you can't go get donuts. He's like, I'll be back later. Now, in his mind, this is great freedom. Finally, a vehicle. Right? But that much freedom will lead to his suffering. I mean, he was literally ready to merge onto a street that has like a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. As his father, I realized that freedom will harm him. So it wasn't very long thereafter, and what do you think I built? A fence. Okay? Now, if my kid had went to college and, studied Kant, he could have stood in the yard, looked at the fence, and look at this oppression that limits my freedom of choice and my ability to express myself. Look at the limitations that my unkind father has burdened me with. And as a father, I would say, actually, this is an act of love. If you hop the fence, you're going to get hurt. If you wander off property, you're going to get hurt. I want you to enjoy the whole yard, but don't leave your father's household because it will be to your ruin. We don't know this because we're rebels. We don't remember this because we are fatherless. We didn't have a dad, or we didn't have a dad like God. And when God gives us laws, if we don't see him as a father kissing us on the forehead, sitting with us on the couch, telling us how much he loves us, and telling us that every law is a board in the fence to preserve our life so that we can run freely without being harmed, then we will altogether reject a loving father who wants life for his kids. Every one of God's laws is just a plank in the fence. And when you see it, remember that your Father loves you. And freedom is not freedom to jump the fence, but freedom to play in the yard. Amen?